Hey guys, this is Jay Calderon with Jay Unboxing here giving you a personal prediction for Rey Vargas versus O'Shaquie Foster. And as always, this is just my take, of course. Your predictions can be left down in the comments section below. Love to hear them about this fight. I think it's a pretty good pick'em fight, to be honest. Bit of an under-the-radar fight as well. Would love to hear that, your picks, your bets. Scale of 1 to 10, how badly do you think I butchered Foster's first name? All that good stuff down in the comments section below. And a little bit of fight info here. We have Vargas versus Foster. This will be taking place at the ALAMODOME in San Antonio, Texas, airing on Showtime here in the United States for a vacant portion of the junior lightweight title on the line, of course. And in my opinion, a very good fight, a sort of under the radar kind of fight, in my opinion. Rey Vargas is known pretty well and is a solid fighter for sure. So you're going to, definitely see him as the betting favorite. Having said that, O'Shaquie is not a slouch. 2 losses or not, he is a skilled fighter and is capable of winning this fight. And for Foster, this would be the biggest win of his career, of course, and his first version of a world title. For Vargas, it would mean he would become a 3-weight world champion in the process of also picking up a solid win to start off 2023. So definitely quite a bit on the line for these gentlemen. So does Vargas remain undefeated and add to his gold, or will Foster pick up the win, the biggest of his career, and his first world title? Let's break this bad boy down. Starting with Vargas. For Vargas to win, I think you want to time the check left hook. Vargas has a solid hook in general, but especially when he works it as that kind of check left hook, that almost a counter shot as his opponent is stepping in. He times it really well, and that can pay off here if he can get Foster to commit. Again, at times, Foster will overcommit, and if Foster does that, this hook can pay off, and it's something that I think can score consistently for Vargas while keeping him in relatively safe ground, kind of keeping him out of harm's way. Foster also likes to switch from orthodox to southpaw, and a good kind of element to this left hook is that it can kind of work from either stance. Either from a conventional stance, it's going to work pretty well, but especially if he's a southpaw, it'll kind of tame him a bit in that respect because it's a sort of shot that lands against lefties. The left hook is one of those shots that can kind of line him up for that right hand. So either way, it will work regardless of the stance that Foster happens to adapt, and I think it's a shot that can pay off for Vargas. I would also say use upper body movement. When Vargas is too straight and too upright, he gets caught. That's the worst version of Vargas you're going to see. He will need to move off that straight line and make sure that he's not just a stand-up, straight-up target. Instead, you're going to want to bend at the waist. You're going to want to roll with those shots. He does that very well. Standing up straight or not, he can roll with the punches pretty well, but he makes it a lot easier if he's bending at the waist and giving him those kind of angles and new looks and not making himself such an easy mark. This will also allow for you to use the pull counter. Countering well in general will help for you, but especially in this case. Make Foster think, make it kind of give you a better chance to get offensive down the stretch when he's a little more gun shy because you're giving him those different dimensions to think about. And finally, work your combinations. You don't need to get crazy active early on, but you need to incorporate that work rate more and more each round. The earlier, the better, of course. Foster likes to set up his work. He likes to think a bit more, put more, thought into what he's doing. You have to take that away from him as much as humanly possible. The more you press him with that work rate, the better you have of wearing him down the stretch, especially mentally, by, again, not giving him the chance to really think about what he's doing. One of the best ways to do that, of course, is use your own strength, which is, again, those combinations. Set them up with that check left hook when he's coming in. If it happens to tag him well, you can line him up with some other follow-up shots or stepping in around the jab if you're able to get through, make up the ground that you have to do with a little bit of the shorter reach, and then let your hands go more often as the fight progresses. And switching over to Foster. For Foster to win, I think you want to land the quick 1-1-2. Vargas likes to react to the first shot, so you can't just give him that first shot and then hope for the best. You have to throw that double jab to offset some of that rhythm and timing. One of Vargas's biggest sort of benefits to his game is that timing. This can help offset that. That hard right hand over the double jab as well, from those moments when Vargas does happen to overcommit, can definitely pay off for Foster down the stretch. This, of course, is going to help you score. It's going to help you reset. Again, you like to think before you put in work. It's not always going to just be something that you let flow completely. You want to make sure you're in a good position to reset and start again. This is going to help you do that by getting you out of line of fire when you're double jabbing and setting up those bigger shots as well. I would also say don't back straight up. You can back up a bit too much in a straight line at times, and you have to avoid that for a couple of reasons. For one, you don't have tremendous power anyway, and I think you do need to find a way to land something on Vargas that's a bit more meaningful. Backing up in a straight line just isn't going to do that for you. So instead, you're going to want to make sure that you're giving him angles, step to the side. You can then punch and land with those shots that he doesn't see coming. And when on the inside and you don't have those perfect angles, tie them up and just force the reset that way. You'll both have to reset when you're broken up by the referee. You have to be able to be switched on here. Keep in mind that you can't let Vargas attack you while you're backing up. Use the reach that you do have to your advantage, and again, reset when necessary. And finally here, I would say neutralize the activity of Vargas. And as I've sort of mentioned and alluded to here, you have to keep Vargas at bay. You have to kind of give him time to be thinking, because he doesn't like to think. He likes to let things happen a little more naturally. He's a very quick twitch guy. He's trying to counter. He's trying to get his punches going. You, on the other hand, want to kind of keep a slower pace. That's what you're looking to do. And again, you can do this a number of ways. Tie him up. Move when he's looking to attack to the side. Very simple stuff. Use that 1-1-2 as I first alluded to. Landing something early on, I think, as I also alluded to, can help you by kind of making him second guess himself, which gives you more space and time, which is what you're looking for. And this can pay dividends as you're able to get this going more and more in the fight, land more and more, and hopefully score with those more telling blows as the fight progresses. Now, in terms of my pick, to be honest with you, I'm tempted to pick Foster here, but I'm going with Rey Vargas. I think we'll be tight to start with, but I do believe that the Vargas activity will begin to push Foster back and make him rush his work a bit more than he's intending to do in this fight. Perhaps Foster lands something big, but I expect Vargas will be able to handle most of it. Foster isn't a gigantic puncher. Solid pop, but not a gigantic puncher. Maybe he even drops Vargas. Vargas does that a lot, but I think his overall work rate and combinations, plus his recuperative skills, will allow for him to get back up, score far too often, and make the fight kind of wear on Foster as it continues on. The left hook will score well for Vargas, who may also get the benefit of the doubt in any close rounds, being a Mexican in Texas. Sorry, that's just the way it is, and he will rack up those points down the stretch. Winner, Rey Vargas via solid unanimous decision. Now, in terms of the betting odds here, we have Vargas at a -225 with Foster at a +170. Honestly, considering Vargas is a two-weight world champion and Foster is a guy with 2 defeats and no title to his credit, these are actually pretty close odds, but I have to say I do think they deserve to be so. You're getting okay odds actually from both. Again, I do think it's, it's risky when you're betting on a favorite who could potentially lose, but 2-1 isn't terrible if you're a big Vargas believer. In terms of Foster, I mean, this is a great bet if you're into like a 2-team or 2-player parlay here, or if you're just looking to get, 1.5 odds are not terrible at all either. Small to medium bet for either of these two, but in any event, you do have some value there in straight up bets. If you happen to think this fight ends early, you're going to get some really solid value, because the over-under here is 10.5 that I found anyway, with the over being a -480 and the under being a +300. So again, 3-1 odds for the under, which basically just means anything outside of a decision here. In this particular case, I mean, that's not bad at all. So certainly something you could look into if that's how you think this fight goes. In any event, those are your odds. And as of this recording, my prediction record is 2-2 with 2 exact. So let me know what you guys think, though. I'd like to hear your picks and predictions for this fight. Again, I think it's a pretty interesting fight with a lot of different potential opponents for the winner, and it's just an interesting fight. I think it's very close. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at jcalderon_JOB. You can email me at junboxing@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you there. Also, be sure to check out junboxing.com for schedule, results, news, betting odds, rankings, all that good stuff. And as mentioned, please go ahead and subscribe. I know a lot of you that watch and listen here are not subscribed. It would be great if you go ahead and do that. Be sure to look out for the fight preview for this fight as well, coming up in a few days. And as always, until next time.